Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent McCory. This is Africa 54. The Ethiopian parliament has taken 3 rebel groups off the country's list of designated terrorist organizations. Lawmakers unanimously approved a resolution Thursday that removes the terrorist designation from the Oromo Liberation Front, Ogaden National Liberation Front, and Ginbot 7. The cabinet of new Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who continues to chart a path of reconciliation, submitted the resolution to Parliament last week. The Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Fitsum Arega, says the move will encourage groups to use peaceful political discourse to achieve political ends. Fitsum said the cabinet has also proposed a law that would grant amnesty to people and groups prosecuted on charges of armed struggle and crime against the constitutional order. The government has enacted sweeping reforms in recent months following years of criticism that Ethiopia was a repressive state. Officials have released thousands of prisoners arrested under anti-terrorism laws and dropped charges against Ginbot 7 leader Behahun Nega, who was sentenced to death in 2009 for an alleged assassination plot. For additional insight on the rapid developments in Ethiopia, Tsedale Lemma, editor-in-chief and founder Addis Standard Magazine, joins me live via Skype from Frankfurt, Germany. Good evening.
Good evening, Vincent.
Now, Tsedale, the smile on your face tells me that you are actually pleased by the announcements you're getting out of Addis Ababa. What do you make of the latest?
Well, I am pleased, and I think millions of Ethiopians are also pleased because the categorization of these 3 organizations, political organizations, as terrorist groups was not only by the terrorism law in the country for allegedly being connected to these organizations. So this is really a very good step in the right direction.
Now, the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff says that people now can hopefully resort to peaceful discourse. Does this, for you, signal that democracy is being embraced and that people can now actually come out on the streets and be allowed to protest without being attacked and arrested?
Well, this particular bill that was removed today does not necessarily deal with the ban on public demonstration, but the public demonstration, as we have seen it the last 2 weeks, even though it is a pro-Prime Minister demonstrations, people are coming out on the street without being jailed and being harassed like it used to be before. So it's not clearly connected to the lifting of the ban on public. Clearly, this has come to an end.
Now, what do you think is going on? Is it that the party has come to the realization that change has to happen? Or is this singularly the influence of the new Prime Minister?
Well, I think this is the party's decision. If we go back to December when they had that deep reform meeting before the former Prime Minister resigned, they have reached into some kind of consensus that these are some of the measures that they have to take in order to survive, in order to save themselves. So although the Prime Minister is seen sometimes singularly taking some drastic measures, more or less this is the party's decision as a collective.
Indeed, we look forward to seeing more changes. What a new dawn in Ethiopia. Thanks a lot for joining us today, Tsedale, and we'll have these conversations continue another time.
Sure. Thank you.
Tsedale Lemma is editor-in-chief and founder of Addis Standard Magazine.